I believe that the Near protocol is fantastic. And I think that Near during this bull run could hypothetically go to the price of $50. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice nor guarantee. But I think that contrary to popular belief, I think that the Near protocol is one of the best blockchains out there, because oftentimes when people think about an amazing blockchain, they don't really think about Near. But man, this is so special. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Because for instance, the Near protocol is a proof-of-stake blockchain that utilizes sharding technology in order to achieve scalability. Now, you may be thinking, okay, what is so special about sharding technology? The amazing thing about it is that the network is split into multiple sections known as shards, and workload on the network is distributed amongst these different shards. And as a result of that, again, the Near protocol does become highly scalable and overall just very awesome. So yeah, that's fantastic in my opinion. Now, some people may argue though, they may think that, hey, the Near protocol isn't the only one to use sharding technology. Take a look at Zilliqa and some others, right? They may argue that. But in my opinion, it doesn't mean that it's bad, that it's not the only one using it. If anything, it showcases that it's actually doing good things because they know that it works and it's amazing. So why not use it? Some people like to say that, oh, wow, it's so caca because it's not the only one who uses sharding technology. But it's like, come on, man. It's not caca by any means. I mean, a lot of things out there use blockchain technology. Does it mean it's bad? No, right? I mean, I think if anything, it showcases that it's good. That's why a lot of people are using it, or a lot of projects. So again, I don't think it's caca at all. Now, the amazing thing about Near is that very recently, they've been starting to focus on AI. And yes, AI, of course, as you all know, stands for artificial intelligence. And I get it, though. A lot of the hype did die down. A lot of the fans kind of left when it comes to AI, quite frankly. But in my opinion, better days are ahead, because even according to Grandview Research, the AI market is predicted to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030. First of all, this is kind of insane because it's actually bigger than some countries' GDP. Again, around $2 trillion, which is, again, very ridiculous in a good way, of course. But also on top of that, you have to take into consideration how 2030 isn't even that far away. I mean, we're so close to 2025, just a couple months away, which is kind of crazy to think about. But in my opinion, that if anything showcases that the AI market is ready for a massive resurgence in the future, and again, around 5 years from right now, it could be so massive. So I think the projects that are focused on it currently, they're the ones that could experience such amazing growth in the future. Because just imagine, once the hype for AI jumps back in again, once the retail FOMO kicks in, once a lot of enterprises really start looking into AI technology, could you imagine something like Near? They're waiting in the wings. They're preparing for that wave, so they're going to catch it later on. That's how amazing it is. Other projects out there, they've given up on AI. Once the hype left, they're like, yeah, okay, we're done. But when it comes to Near, that's not the case. They understand its potential, and man, I think it could hypothetically be so amazing. And always, I think it's much better anticipating something as opposed to chasing it. Because for instance, let's say I'm surfing, and then there's a wave that's like 60 feet away. I can't swim faster than that wave. I can't chase it. It's impossible. But let's say I put myself in a prime position to catch that wave. Then, hey, I'm going to have a good time, potentially. So that's why I think it's much better, anticipating something as opposed to chasing. And that's what I really love about Near. Now, also take this into consideration. Some people out there, they like to say that, wow, when it comes to adoption for Near, it's so caca, it's so trash, no activities going on with Near. But I completely disagree, because the numbers, they don't lie. For instance, on Near, there's currently over 700 active projects. I mean, could you imagine that? That's insane. A lot of its competitors, they can't even get like 50 projects, so over 700, you can only imagine the amazing, fundamental qualities of Near in that sense. In order for a developer to believe in something, it requires a lot of trust, a lot of belief. They have to actually, love the fundamentals. And when it comes to Near, this, if anything, again, showcases that. So this is kind of like pie in the face to the Near critics out there, for the ones that think that, oh, wow, Near has like no adoption, it's complete caca. No, I disagree. I mean, sometimes people, they have opinions and whatnot, but again, the numbers, they don't lie. And I really love that when it comes to Near. Now, also, let's not forget about this, right? Near is currently being trusted by Alibaba, #Jack Ma, also Google, shout out to Google, by the way. You take a look at Arbitrum. Arbitrum is one of the leading Ethereum layer 2 scaling solutions out there. So yeah, that's massive. And of course, many others, but those are the ones that I highlighted. But yeah, I think you get the point. When it comes to Near, man, it's pretty much A+ everywhere. Partnerships, A+. Adoption, A+. Fundamental qualities, A+. Focus on the right market. So that's, of course, another A+. Pretty much, again, A+ all across the board. I think it's a very special project, and I don't want to miss out on it. So I think it's such a no-brainer pick for me. Now, you may be thinking, okay, $50, that's kind of a lot, man. But I disagree, especially for something of this caliber. I don't think it's too much, because if Near were to go to the price of $50, considering its current circulating supply, at that point, market cap would be around $55 billion, which really isn't so bad, especially if you consider the past performance of other projects. For instance, we've seen Dogecoin reach over $80 billion in market cap. So it's like way more than this. Now, you may be thinking, okay, Dogecoin, that's not fair. That's a meme coin. But before I get into another example, I do want to explain why I do believe it's quite fair, actually, because I think this, if anything, showcases how in the world of cryptocurrencies, reaching like over $55 billion market cap isn't some crazy nonsense that we've never seen before. If I'm saying Near is going to go to like a $1 trillion market cap, like a $500 billion, yeah, then that's insane. I mean, come on, right? We all know that. But around a $55 billion market cap, I don't think it's crazy at all. Was it crazy for BNB to reach over $100 billion in market cap? Everyone was like, yeah, we expected it. But in my opinion, that's actually a little bit weird, because you take this into consideration. Even just last year, according to Crypto.com research, slightly over 2% of the crypto hacks that happened actually occurred on the BNB Smart Chain ecosystem. That's not really great in my opinion. I mean, the crypto space overall is so massive. So slightly over 2%, that's actually kind of ridiculous, a little bit embarrassing in my opinion. So when you take a look at Near, going to around a $55 billion market cap, why not? If BNB can reach over $100 billion, this can't go to around half of that. That's just my point of view. And of course, I'm not saying it's going to happen like tomorrow or next week, because that's usually not how it works. It takes some time. But before I get into that, this brings me to my point as to why I'm only doing things that are within my control. Like, for instance, I can't wave a magic wand and demand Near to pump like right now or 2 weeks ago or whatever. I can't do that. What I can do is just believe, acquire, staying consistent, not giving up. Again, dollar cost averaging. Anytime I acquire income, just acquiring Near, holding, and just waiting. That's it. Very simple, right? Acquire, hold, wait, and just repeat. Now, of course, I'm not saying I want to wait like 5 years from right now. That's a little bit too long, but I think around a year from right now, things could look so different. And historically speaking, there is something that could very well back this up, because you take a look at how historically altcoins, they've been known to peak, as a worst case scenario, by the way, around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, the Bitcoin halving event happened a number of months ago, back in April. So a year and a half after that is actually around October of next year, basically near the end of 2025. So basically around a year from right now. That's why I said that. But keep in mind, it could happen sooner, but let's say it happens a little bit later. I'm prepared for that, because if anything, it's actually more time for me to accumulate. So I don't mind. Now, take this into consideration. Also, there's the amazing, potential for Bitcoin, hypothetically, because you take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the number of institutional investors. That's so amazing for Bitcoin. So yes, even though Bitcoin reached a new all-time high this year, had a big pullback, then subsequently it had a pretty decent recovery, but I think there's still ways to go, because reaching $150,000 for Bitcoin during this bull run, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I mean, again, with all those amazing factors, I don't see why not. And if Bitcoin were to do that, it's only fair to assume that something like Near is going to go along with the ride. And take this into consideration. There's now currently over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, more than ever before in history. Because even during the peak of the 2021 bull run, at that time, there was roughly only around 300 million crypto owners. And yet, even still, despite that, the bull run was already that fantastic. So imagine this time around, with pretty much double the amount of crypto owners, could you imagine the FOMO, the buying pressure, the buying volume? It's going to be insane. But really, all it is just a waiting game at this point. I'm going to stay consistent, though. Just again, dollar cost averaging to Near, and focusing on the fundamentals instead of focusing on whatever happens to the price every 2 minutes or 2 hours. I could really care less about that. I think Near is pretty much one of the best out there. And the Near protocol is so underrated. People like to say that, oh, wow, it's the little brother to Solana. It's the little brother to Avalanche. But I think, quite frankly, that's kind of disrespectful. I mean, come on, man. People like to say that, hey, Solana's very fast. Well, so is Near. People like to say that, hey, Solana's very scalable. Well, so is the Near protocol. So I don't get why people keep saying it's a little brother to Solana. Even at one point, right? I'm not saying that Solana's bad. They fixed a lot of their issues. But even besides that, at one point, it did experience 8 different network outages in just a time span of a year. That's kind of nonsense. The Near protocol is very reliable. So when people say that, again, it's the little brother to Solana, come on, man. I think that's very disrespectful. But even besides that, when I consider just how amazing this bull run could be, and when I consider just how amazing the Near protocol is, Near at the price of $50 during this bull run, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gained value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Mali the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.